Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I think I had to coordinate a lot with IT team. So I think you must be feeling disturbance from my side also. Okay, so here the plan is very simple. First thing, it's at a high level. I'm just telling you, infra monitoring. We have APM, and then we have blog, and then we have synthetic. Okay. In fact, I would like to add RAM also if it is allowed in some time. Okay. So these are the monitoring we want to do that. This is the everything we have to get it done. So infrastructure monitoring, I'll show you the demo with Linux and then Windows, and then after that Apache, and after that Docker, and then Apache is done, right? Tomcat, and MySQL one I'll take it from the database. So this is a platform I'm taking. Okay, for every category I'm taking one of each. And this is the platform. This is also platform. This is the app web server. Okay, this is a platform, also container platform. This is the app server, and this is what database server. Now one thing also I'll take from AWS, and this is the cloud. So will that be sufficient for all of you? Hello.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. So APM will go for the Java based applications. For the log monitoring, anyways, we have placed synthetic for API, RAM for API also. So yeah, I'll get started with Linux first. So yeah, I'll give you the machines. Don't worry about that. I'll give you the Linux, Windows. We have it, Apache and all everything. I'll show you that step by step. I'll share the documents also. Okay. So just be with me in the demo time, and then after that, I'll give you the lab diagnosis. So first thing, Linux. So what do we do? So for that, I'm creating one of, I'm having one of the view. So for the demo, for you will be having AWS demo, AWS lab. So don't need to worry about it. So clone DD1. Okay. So one of the machines, which is Linux, I'm using CentOS 7. I'll give you also CentOS 7 only for this. Okay. So guys, root and password is Rajesh one. I'll give you the key for it. Okay. So IP address for me is 7. Okay. So let's go to the putty and 192.168.1.7 and root and Rajesh 1, 2, 3. I'll just improve this UI so all can see without any problem. Rajesh 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, guys. Now what you have to do, very simple thing. Here we have so much of menus. Okay, don't get lost. One by one we'll cover, we'll get into that. But here you see integrations here. Okay, here you see integrations. And integrations, we have integrations. marketplace, agent, reference tables, all these things we have. So I'll click on agent. You don't need to remember, but I'll share the step by step. Just see that, so it should not get stuck in the flow. Now agent I need to install. So now here we have multiple agent which should be installed. So here the agent for the Mac, Windows, Debian, Ubuntu, Amazon. So I'll just help you to categorize this one. So these are operating system, correct? All of you, correct now? Hello.
AWS Lambda,
Yes.
is that
Yeah.
also operating system?
No, this is a good observation. So this is a exception you have here. Yeah. So more or less, except these two, I guess, most of these are operating system, correct?
Yeah.
Now this is a service. This is service, just like a Datadog is a service. AWS is also service. Okay, wait. I did not read it by the way. Amazon Linux is the operating system.
Correct.
Yeah, my bad. I did not read it. I just saw the logo. Amazon Linux is operating system. That means all are operating system except this one, Lambda. Lambda is serverless.
Function.
Okay, so this is the stuff. Now I would like you to see that here these options. Agent for these three. I don't know how many of you have worked with this platform. These are also runtime environment. So you want to install agent for operating system or container or Kubernetes or OpenShift. Okay, so this is the container, this is the pod, and you can say this is the Kubernetes clustering and also further. Okay, so you have agent for everything. I'm just focusing so you'll remember that. Now the problem I'm having now is just the problem which I'm having now is I don't know what exactly this is. Anyone have idea?
Yeah, continuous integration and deployment tools. CI/CD tools.
So
Configuration.
think about it. I came to the page and here it says, hey, we have to install the agent. And the version of agent is 7.
Scripting, right? Use it for scripting. Ansible, Puppet.
Anyone else would like to add on top of it?
Configuration management tool.
Why we use it?
Infrastructure as code.
Here in this context, how we should use this? Okay, so very simple way, right? Yeah. So see here, the one previous one operating system. I'll be teaching you how to install the agent 7 in each platform manually. But you know, you have a large infrastructure, right? Large infrastructure. So how do you monitor and how do you install the agent in a large infrastructure? Hundreds of machines, 200 of machines, some of which is Ubuntu, some of CentOS, some of Windows, some of Fedora. How do you do that? The answer is this one. That means if you want to install agent in a large server using Chef or Puppet or Ansible or Salt, then this will help you. Basically, Chef will have some cookbooks, Puppet will have some modules, Ansible will have some rules and playbook, and Salt also will have some modules like that. Make sense? So if you ask me, Rajesh, I want to deploy agent in hundreds of server, answer is this one. Make sense, all of you? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, and now then some of the additional options also. So more or less we understand the agent can be installed on this operating system or this platform, or through automation you can use the configuration management tools like Ansible. Ansible is very popular nowadays, so it's used by most of the projects. You can use it. Okay, so mine operating system is CentOS. Okay, CentOS 7. So it can be any operating system. I'll click here CentOS. Now when I am doing, I'm not reading each and everything, okay, but you will do that. Okay, These are the good read actually. It's the first time because you are doing, you should read it. Now here there is a select keys. So this API key is basically, remember that service. How do you authenticate to Datadog? So for that they provide API key. Without API key, Datadog endpoints will not capture it, will not allow you to store the data. So it's like a call. So every data will be go to cloud, Datadog cloud, and they will accept those requests for CRUD only if it is having the right API key. You know, guys, API key will help you to find out which account you are from also. Yes, your API key will help Datadog to identify which account you're using. Okay, so it's very important for you. So right now I have a no key, select a new key, select API key. So here I have a key. So every time you create an account, one key will be generated by default. You see that it got generated on August 14. I can create a new key for this training also, and I can use it. But right now, not complicating too much. Use API key. Done. Now the moment you select, then here automatically this code will be manipulated according to your API key, and copy it very carefully. Okay, and this code you have to copy it. Now what exactly this code will do? This code will basically is running one script which will read all your system and install the right agent for you. Okay, so every code which is required for installing the agent, you have it, and there need some inputs actually, what site and what agent. So that's the reason I said site. If you select for the US one, then this is the one. If you have a different region, different data center or Datadog which you have selected, then you have to change the site also. Keys and all, it's unique to the data centers. Okay, so this same key will not work for the other data center. It's a different key required for it. Are you understanding all of you?
Rajesh, I have a question here on the API key. So in the enterprise, right? So that enterprise account, every application would have this key, or it would be some common used from like.
So simple concept, as many API key you can have it. Now depends on the process of your organization. You say, hey, I'll have one API key for my project, another API for another project, like that. So API key, if it is functional, it is active, it will work. Now, how do you do that at a project level, individual level, service level, organization level? This you can decide.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a script. I'm just going to copy it and then running it. That's all. And here it's installing everything. It's a new server. And request guys, all of you to see my demo. And if you have some clarifications, need some clarification, please inquire now itself. It'll be easy for us to solve. So downloading the package.
So Rajesh, you'll be sharing all these instructions for us to go
Yes,
through
yes, yes.
as well, right?
Yeah. Focus on the flow. Flow
Okay.
is important, and then I'll share with you all the instructions, screenshot and all also.
So using Putty, when you connected with the root user, so that account was already created by you earlier, right? So how do we connect?
I'll give you the username and password and IP
Okay.
address. All this thing I'll share with you after the demo. When we start the lab, no, I'll give it.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so now you saw that, and again I would request, if you have a little bit time, look at this output and also. And here it's very important. Complete has happened, and this you please read it. Don't rush thinking, okay, it's done, my work is done, let me check my email. It's not like that. Read this here. It will add you some information. So here Datadog agent I have not discussed actually, but agent configuration file is here. Okay, discussion I'll do that after some time. Okay, through the slides. But the agent configuration file is here. etc datadog agent datadog.yaml file. Okay, so here this is the API key and agent configuration, setting site in the Datadog and this starting the Datadog agent, this command for stopping the agent, this command for starting the agent, this one command for status also. Okay, so it's running. So now Datadog is running. After this, I'll go back to the website and scroll down and see that if everything is okay or not. Now, older version of agent can be installed here, 5, 6. Now I installed the 7, which is the latest one. Please read this. And now, what is the name of the machine? So I'll go to if you zoom in and zoom out, this top menu will go left, right, left or top. So don't get confused with the UI. Okay, so it's up to you. And now here I'll go for infrastructure, and here I'll click infrastructure list. And now you see this machine, second one, okay, which is a Linux agent. I should have given some renaming or something. Here it is. Okay, now this is the stuff. Now few things you want to know, like that is like where is the configuration file. So I want you to spend some time here. Datadog agent, this place. You must comfortable with this place. Get comfortable with it, specifically this file. Okay, look at this file here, datadog.yaml, and here you have a keys. Many entries are there, more than I think 500-600 lines of code will be there. All are in commented. Okay, based on our need, we can modify this. This is the US, and a lot of things are there. Okay, so this file is very important. Slowly we'll get into that and customize it. Here checks, configurations, and few files. Just get comfortable. But where is a log actually? So logs you can find in the var logs. Okay, so var logs, and here this is the Datadog here, and here you have a logs. Okay, so agent log, process agent log, and trace agent log. Now this logs is coming because if you see here, just query your ps-f Datadog and see, too many output has come. So data, it's better to search for, trace agent. So here, see that trace agent is a one executable running, and then process table. Process agent also will be running, one executable. Here, and then Datadog anyways will be there. So these are the logs you will find. So now what we did, we installed this agent, we started the service, we saw the configuration file, and we saw the log files. Now here some data we started coming, so click on it, and I would ask you to spend some time here. Click on it and see that host info. These are the host info. Right now I should have changed the host name, but that's okay for time being. Matrices. Here is CPU, process memories, and many other stuff which you have. And containers. Containers is not enabled, I'll do that. Process is also not enabled, I'll do that. Network also not enabled. Logs also not enabled. Traces also not enabled. So here matrices are getting, these are the monitoring you set up, infra monitoring. So all this thing you can get it. If you want to have large dashboard, open up and see that this is on the bigger pages. And get comfortable with it. This is like a timeline for which you want it. So CPU, memory, disk space, network input, output, and also. So are you comfortable so far?
Yes.
Okay. So now you will ask me, Rajesh, okay, do you have any documentations and stuff like that? So let me share with you. Datadog, Linux. And here, agent. So here, so if you want to do for CentOS, this is the documentation. You want to do for Ubuntu, this is the documentation. And if you want to do for Windows, this, which I'll show you the demo now, is the documentation. Okay, so let's browse this documentation. Okay, so here, first thing I did, agent, says screenshot, click on the agent, install the agent, and after that you have to run some commands. So which commands? Datadog-agent. You need to get comfortable with it. Datadog-agent. Through this training, through this process of training, you need to learn all these commands which is here. Okay, so some of the commands you can try, which I have mentioned here. For example, starting the agent, stopping the agent, restarting the agent, status the agent. This is the log locations. This is the configuration file. This is the logs, okay, which I showed you. And whichever the config check is enabled, you can check this using this command. So these are the check as of now enabled. So disk check is enabled. CPU check is enabled. File handle is enabled. IO check is enabled. Load memory, CPU, memory, network, NTP, uptime. These are enabled. Why? Because the enabled by default by the agent. So you want to enable more, this command will help you to validate what is enabled and what is not enabled. Correct now? Okay.
CentOS is like Linux.
What is that?
CentOS is like Linux. CentOS.
Yeah, CentOS is Linux, one flavor of Linux. Ubuntu is also one flavor of Linux. Yeah. Now config check will help you to whatever it's there in the configurations file. So whatever you have enabled in the configuration file, you will see that it's a pretty long list. You see that here. So best way to grep it some. So if you want to see that what is enabled, so grep API or something like that. So these are the things. So grep it, it will be easy for you to get it done. Now, so here you can see which is enabled config check, and you can see the config file. You can see the health of agent also using this one. So here it's 16 healthy components which you have right now, and its health is fast, agent health. You can check the host name also, localhost or something like that will be there. So localhost, local domain. And if you want to check the version of agent, which is 7 in our case, which is here. So this command I have given it to you, this screenshot I have shared with you, and I have shared the demos. Any questions which you find difficult? All of you?
Just one question. So Datadog agent, right, will it stop its own because we manually started, right? Like any abnormal way, it will stop on its own, or you have to monitor it?
No, this is service. No, if you enable the service, then it will start every reboot automatically. But if it's not started manually, if you want to start that command, I give it to you, start and stop.
Okay.
Any more questions, guys?
Rajesh, these commands, like, so we would have access to run it into AWS infrastructure also if we are
Any
using
Linux,
it.
any Linux you can run.
If it's not an EC2 machine, like if it's through serverless, then
no.
how do we check?
Serverless, we don't have a CentOS or Ubuntu.
Yeah, that we don't even know where the code is running, but we would have integration with Datadog, right? To log,
Right.
send
So
our
the
logs to. Yeah.
so method for serverless is different. Right
Okay.
now, that's the reason I said I'm talking about the platform slowly, and then runtime, different ways we have to install the agent. So I'm just checking that.
Yeah, so we would we would cover that as well, or we would have just issue to machine through AWS.
No. I said no here. Look at this. These are the integration which I'm planning to do that. If you want to add, please feel free to say. So for example, I'll show you the Linux. So just now I showed you that. Windows is the next one. After that, Apache, then Docker. Different variations. Out of 500 integration, I'm trying to show you different variations. If you want to add someone, your serverless is somewhere here.
Yeah, so I thought like maybe we would be just spin on one EC2 machine and we'll just install it there. And we'll
This is the same thing I did here.
Yeah.
EC2 is a VM. I just got a VM here. This is a VM only. Same, whatever, not even 1% steps will change.
Yeah, that I know. EC2 machine, so we can host like in Linux, Windows, anything we can run on that, but that's fine. So in that other services, I was thinking, okay, when we'll cover this AWS integration, probably we can talk a little bit around that.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, any other questions? Okay, so now I am going to show you. The question is how to do process enabling. How to enable process monitoring. Okay, this is not default enabled by default. So you have to do that. Where did I note it?
Rajesh, before we go to the next one, do we want to set it up the agent first on the?
Yeah, that is also fine for me. But what I was thinking, I'll show you the CentOS and Windows in one go, and then you can configure in one go because steps are same actually.
Okay, sounds
good. So CentOS I was showing, but if I go here and here, okay. So matrices I got it. Infra monitoring is done. Process is not here. It says no agent reporting, and please read this one. So anyways, you can read this. Process monitoring is not happening. So now the question is how to do that. So the steps are very simple though, not complicated. So process monitoring is default in disable in agent actually. So now the question is what to do. So understand that if you want to change the behavior of agent, you have to modify the config file of the agent. Now I forgot the location. Which was the location where we had a config file?
etc.
etc.
Wonderful. Yes. So that was the location. You have to change the file. So now here, if we go to etc Datadog agent, and just I ask you very simple way, remember this file all the time. This is the real work which you have all the time. Now, if I see this file, more than 100,000, hundreds of entries are there, and I'm getting lost actually. How do I learn everything? It's very difficult. But yeah, slowly we'll get to you. Get used to it. Okay. So this file is for everything. Now I'm playing a tricks, and I'm saying, hey, can I grab the process? And spelling mistake, I guess. And here I will read that all the entries related to process. So see here, I see that this is the process, some section which is there. Okay, and here process collections. So I think this part is more comfortable for me, process collections. Okay, so yeah, I'll go through the remaining things also, but this section is comfortable. So I'll go and open this file very carefully. And one more thing, guys, suggestion. Do one thing because you may be doing the first time. So copy the backup of it. So if something goes wrong, you can revert back. Okay, just to save time. Okay, I just copy the backup. So vi datadog.yaml. Okay, now I will search for this. Here it is. Okay, so this is the stuff. So here process config, process collections, enabled first. So this is the something which we have to do that. So what do we have to do? Uncomment this. Done. 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 So here it should be 2 space, and here it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 space. Okay, this is YAML. Please remember that. I hope you have a little bit of fundamental of YAML. Space is important in this. So I enable this process collections, and here I'll say true. Are you understanding, right? Hello?
Yeah.
3 entries.
Yeah.
And save it. Oops, I made a mistake. And save it. Now after that, what I'll do, I'll just stop and start the service. So for that, what I'm going to do, restart the agent. Enter. Check the status. We are done. Now I'll just check the config check also. It's cool. Now I'll see that grep process not coming. I'll check the config if you have a process involved or not. Grep process. Yeah. So here you see it has come. Okay. So yeah, entry has come. You can open up this file also. I'm doing the thing because I don't want to scroll too much. Now I think it's okay. I know that entry will come only and all. So can I go and check the process configuration? Close this, refresh it. Localhost, local domain, and it has come. So all the processes running in my Linux box you have here. So now you'll say, Rajesh, you did it, but how do I do it offline? I mean, while doing in lab. So Datadog process. So here, how to enable live process monitoring in Datadog agent. These are the steps I follow, and this is for Windows, and this is for Linux. Okay, and this spacing is here, 2 space here, no space, and this is a 2 space. But in this case, if you see, I'll just show you. In this case, this is the 3 option has come. So here 3 option has come. So earlier in the older version of agent, it was only this and this. Now it has come this one also, this one also, this one also. So no space, 2 space, 4 space. Only remember this one. I'll do one thing. I'll take a screenshot, this one, and here I'll say no space, here 2 space, and here 1, 2, 3, 4. Understood, all of you? I'll update this URL. Make sense, all of you?
Yeah. Is there a selective process we can select here? Like can we restrict some processes not to show there in the Datadog?
Yes, that's very good question. You can do that here. So including and excluding options are here. So if you set this, you can include some of the process and all. So this all section is for the process monitoring.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay, so what I did, I got this process enabled also. So metrics, I got it. Processes, I got it. And after that, I'll go into the Windows. So I think Windows will be more comfortable for you. So for Windows, the same machine which you got access today, okay, you can install the agent there. Now the question is, how do you do that? Same thing. Process will be same. Manuals you have here, okay? So you'll do that. Now in Windows, there is one advantage which I'll show you that. So where is the agent? In first integrations here, agent. Okay, now here is the agent. Now please read this, don't rush, because if you miss one step, again troubleshooting consume lots of time. So here, download this, run the installer. I don't think so you'll face running the installer. Okay, API key is important. Okay, that is important. 4 and 5th, I'll show you anyways. Now if you want to do through the command line, so here commands for this and PowerShell command for this here. I'll show you the manual process. So later on, if you're confident, you can do that. Deployment to Azure also you can do that. So here you have this. Okay, so let's get started. So download this agent. Okay. Now I'll select my keys. I have only one key which I'm using for it. And this is the key, I'll copy it here. Okay. Now you know what? I should not copy the key here because I'll get call from Datadog immediately if I publish this key or at GitHub in open registry. So yeah. Okay, so now I did this. Download is also done. Now what I will do, I will just go to executable. Okay, so now guys, I downloaded. I don't think so you'll stuck for this, all this stuff. Windows URL group, I'm installing it. Next, and actually agent is installed in my machine. That's the reason this is popping. Change, repair, or remove. So I'll say repair. For you, installation just next. Now data key, which I need to provide, API key, which is here. Okay, and next. Now here, which data centers? So of course, I told you only one. This is the main one. And next, repair. So I did this repair, but for you, it will take installations. Okay. So in my Windows machine, agent is already installed because of multiple session. I do that. So this one. Guys, just now I got a confirmation for the internet is working in all the regions. Can you confirm that? Check that google.com.
Yeah, it's working fine for the people. Yeah.
Other people,
Yeah,
can
it
you
is
confirm?
working. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, so this is the thing. Now you must be thinking, I said one statement, right? Like one thing which you will find here in Windows while installing the Datadog agent, which you won't find it by default in Linux agent installation. So what was that? So basically, in Windows, Datadog have one tool called Datadog Agent Manager. So what is this Agent Manager? So this is nothing but one basically one console, you can say, where you can browse status of Datadog, logs of Datadog, config checks of Datadog, and all such like that. And that I wanted to show you. Okay, so that I'll show you in some time. So where is a step-by-step guide? So here, let me make you comfortable. So this is a step by guide. So guys, one more thing. You can do this one. It's not required though. If you're doing in your own VM, then you this one key of providing this, install this, select the data center, get a confirmation. And this is the Datadog Agent Manager I was talking about. You know, it's running on the 5002 port number. And here you can see status, log, settings, and everything about the agent. Okay, processes you have it. So I think it's done. First, I'll show you the process. Okay, so go to the services. And type Datadog agent. See here. So this is the agent, process agent, and system probe. And in fact, 4 has come. Earlier it was 3 processes. Now in the recent agent, 4 has come. So these are the 4 processes. How do you see that config file? So guys, it's important for all of you, and you have to hard code. This is important for you. Where's the config file? So this URL will help you. Okay, so you will find that config file in the C drive. But where? So there is one directory which is hidden actually. Program data. For me, it's not hidden because I have enabled view option actually. Option and view and show hidden files and folders. That's the reason I am saying it. Okay, so you will not see that. So how do you enable? I have shared the screenshot here also. And after that, you see all the data. So go to the program data, and here you have a Datadog, and continue. This is the YAML file. Understood, all of you?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. So if you want to modify anything as such, like process monitoring, so I will go to this file and process monitoring in Linux, in Windows I'm doing. Okay. So in Windows, it will be easy for you guys. So let me go to that. I can't scroll because it's a pretty huge. Here it is. See that in Windows, it's very easy to read process collection configurations. And here you have to, don't give the tab is YAML file, remember. Okay. So take a backup before that. Okay. So it'll be easy for you. Done. So I enable this process monitoring also. And now what I will do, I'll go to the Windows and start the agent, restart it. Done. Now, then I told you, right, there is a Datadog agent manager. So how can you access it? So you can access in the port number 5002. So let me see that. Localhost 5002. Now authorization token. I don't think so there should be any issues.
There are 4 processes, right? You really started only one process.
No, 3 is dependent actually.
Okay.
So just okay. So some problem is there. Now no authorization token. So I need to go to I'm
This
checking.
path token here in this folder.
Yes, yes.
Can you go back to the YAML?
No. This is a different component, which is a agent manager. Okay, so I think I have to change the token because it's an old installation.
Okay.
So I need to locate that file. Maybe I am looking at, just give me 2 seconds, Datadog executable. I'll find the path in here only. So where is this location? C program files Datadog. Okay, so C program files and Datadog. Now here, this is the agent, and somewhere. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll just find it offline. For the this is a different component. It's an agent manager. So typically, when you install the fresh, you will not have this error. So typically, when you install the first time, this configurations is set by installations. But it's my multiple times I have configured. I need to locate that. So I'll do that little bit offline. So what you can see here is this one. This is the UI 5002 port, and this is the Datadog Agent Manager. So basically, everything you can see through the commands also, the way I showed you. In Windows also, PowerShell you can use for that, but this is easier. Now this component, you can also start it in the Linux also and Mac also. So that is also possible, but default is not there. So this is the Windows machine. All of you understood this? Datadog Agent Manager configuration. Any questions, guys? I think. Okay, so as per the things they are saying, it's here only. So let me check and fix this also. So program data, Datadog. Manager. No. Okay, so I'll find it offline. Okay, so any questions, guys, so far? Okay, so what we did, we monitor the CentOS, and then we monitor the Windows, and then we monitor the process monitoring, which is here. Okay, now this is the one. Now before going further, can I complete the Docker also, all of you? What do you think? Sure. All of you? Hello?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So now, how do we do the Docker monitoring? So guys, few things which we have to understand. So first thing, you should know Docker, and after that only integration will be more easier for you. So if you go and check, so by the way, whether Windows has come or not, let me validate. So go to the integrations, infrastructure list, and see this, the Windows has come. It was there already, by the way. Just reinstall it. Okay, so Windows. Okay, by the way, did it process monitoring is not, I'm getting it. So it says no agent reporting. That means the host is coming. Process monitoring I did. Okay, so I did this, and after that probably I have not restarted. And this is dependent services. Okay, so now it should be in few minutes. it should be coming here. So let me close this file. In fact, all the files done. So this file, please remember datadog.yaml to modify anything as such. Now next thing is refresh, and still has not come. Just wait for a few seconds. It should be coming. So now matrices are here. Yeah, it's here. So now next thing is I'm going to enable the Docker monitoring. How do we do that? So how to enable Docker monitoring? Okay. So for that, first thing which you have to do is install Docker. That is the first thing. Okay. And second thing which you have to do, follow configuration, Datadog configuration. Okay. And third thing, create few containers. Okay. So these are the things which we have to do. So can I install the Docker first? Now, where is the document which we should follow? So I'll just go and get you the step-by-step document, Datadog Docker. Sorry, Docker installation, right? So Docker installation. Now Docker installation will be done by this. Okay, but all these instructions you have here, how to enable Docker container monitoring in Datadog agent. So first step, enable Datadog process monitoring. I did it in Linux. Install Docker server. I'll do that. Enable Docker integration with Datadog. These are the configurations you have to do. And finally, restart your agent. Okay. And then finally, you have to do these changes. Okay. Which is config file, which I'll show you this. Okay. And finally, create a container. And then check this container is coming or not. And accordingly. Okay. So these are the steps which I'm showing you right now. So first thing, I have to install the Docker. So this step 1, I have done it. Step number 2, install the Docker. So in this document, you have a installation method 1, 2, 3. I'll follow this one. This is more easier. So copy and so almost done. Done. Okay, so Docker is installed. Now I'm going to enable the Docker for tomorrow maybe and start the Docker. Done. So installation of Docker done. Docker server. And now enable the Docker integration with Datadog. So how do we do that? So for this, I'll go to integrations here. Click on the integrations. So agent installation is over. Okay. Now we are focusing on the integration. This is the first integrations. Okay. So Docker. See, because of process monitoring was enabled, so they say, hey, it's already installed the Docker. So configure. Now, because you are starting first time, right? So you will read all this thing and you will ask me, Rajesh, this integration, what kind of matrices you will get it. So click on the matrices tab. These are the matrices. Okay. And configurations is here. Now, more or less, this is the self-explanatory if you know the Docker. Okay. So here, did I install the Docker? Yes. Did I do this here? No, I'll do that. So basically what you are doing using this command, you are adding the agent, DD agent user to the group called Docker. Correct now, all of you? All of you?
Right, yeah.
So why we are doing it? So the reason is very simple. Docker commands can be run only by the user who's a part of the group called Docker. Now your agent is running with a DD agent user. Okay, so let me show you here. Datadog. See here, which user is a DD agent. Okay, so you have to run this command. For that, I just run it. After that, you have to do this one. Now, guys, I would like you to spend some time reading it here. I know every integrations you will do in the same way. I repeat, every integrations you will do in the same way. Okay, so if you want to do the Docker integrations, there is a configuration file under the conf.d, the name of the integration Docker, and you will enable this file. And in that file, this line should be there. And after that, you have to start the agent, Datadog agent, and then see the status. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes, Rajesh.
So where is the conf.d? Let me locate it. So guys, please focus. This is a conf.d. So here conf.d, enter. And which, see here, there's so many integrations are there, free of cost. 169 integrations you got it here, and but you will say 500 you said. So many of these web integration don't require configuration changes here. Okay, so web integration means API based integrations. So 160 tools you can say you can integrate and get a matrix through the agent and push it to the Datadog. So one of this which you have is Docker. So here you have a file. So it should be YAML file, then only Datadog will read it. If it is anything else, Datadog will not read it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to copy this file to non-default file. So now Datadog can read this file, con.yaml. Now inside that file, you have to go and modify the changes. So right now, I'm just checking. See here. Here you have a init configuration and instances. Here also init configurations and instances. Now you will ask me, Rajesh, what entry this is? So basically this entry is like a socket of Docker. So Docker, you are telling where exactly it is there. So let me do this, copy this, and how many space? One space. Done. Now here they are adding a tags also. So new tag names true. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't use a tab, it's YAML file. I just did this and save it. I just did it and save it. Understood, guys, all of you? Hello?
In the document, the file name is slightly different.
Which one?
In the
Here?
document.
This is okay. Good question, actually. Good observation. Thank you. So basically, the file name can be anything, but it should be ending with YAML file. Okay. So here the file name is docker_daemon, but the file which you are referring, this is also possible. So any file name, but it should be ending with .yaml. Datadog agent will read it. Okay, so here there's no specifications as such in integration front. After that, restart the agent. So where is that restart command? So restart the agent. Enter. Now I should check the Docker is enabled or not. So here status. Okay, and finally I will run some command, this command. Okay, just go through this image, it will be very helpful for you. So here I'm running Datadog agent and config and changes grep docker. Wonderful. So you see that here it has come, everything's good. Now what you should do, create a container. So how do you create a container in Linux? So clear the screen. My bad. So copy one container. Just wait for a few seconds. And this is the smallest container I am creating. So that way it will be helpful. 2 containers. You can add 3 container, 4 container. That's not a problem. So how many containers you have? 4 container. What is the name you see here? So now I'll go to Datadog, and here installation you have to do that. Bottom section, no, there'll be one install integration you have to do that. I did it already. And can you go to infrastructure, containers, and check it out. See, 3 containers is coming, right? So I should have a 4 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me match the name. Nifty, Goofy here. Cust something. Cust is not there. Focused, yeah, focused is there. And last one is not come. It will come in few seconds. Now it has come. So refresh. So now this is how you can monitor you can enable the Docker monitoring also. Now, if you same thing you can see in the infrastructure list, go to this Linux and containers. Here you have it. Understood, guys, all of you? All of you?
Yeah.
Okay. So now these are the integration which I have showed you. Now this document which I followed is this one. Okay. So now we discuss 4 demo: CentOS, Windows, process, Docker. Now time has come for the lab, but before that, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me.